All right, we're live. Happy Monday, everybody. So for this week, we're going to be drawing Link, which I'm pretty excited about. This is Link from, I've already forgotten.
Legend of Zelda?
Well, yeah, Legend of Zelda, but it's a particular costume and I've completely forgotten. But I have reference, so it's fine.
Do you need me to look it up?
No, it's fine. This isn't in the description, I think. Anyway, whatever, we're drawing Link, which should be a lot of fun. So thank you, everybody, for coming and spending Monday with us again.
Twilight Princess.
Thank you. That's right. Twilight Princess. I knew that earlier on. I'm the worst with names. So yeah, I've got my layout already finished. Actually, here. I'll show you. There you go. Layout.
Puppy's freaking out.
Yeah, and our puppy's freaking out upstairs. Hopefully he'll survive. We'll see.
Can we go get him?
Yeah, give it a shot.
I'll be back.
So last week we did the stream and we came up after 2 hours and the puppy, and he's way too big to do this. He fit himself under the bed, but then he can't get himself back out. And so I had to lift the bed so we could drag him out. Yeah, it was a bit of a nightmare. So I think we're going to try and bring him down. He doesn't take it well. So while Meredith's doing that, I'm just going to get started. Good to see Charles Petrie here, and Lance Du Bois is here, Anthony G, Paul Floyd. And I apologize. I can see the chat moving, and it's without Meredith here, I'm a little helpless. So, so what I really want to do with this picture is artwork. Which it's kind of hard for me to help that, but try not to lose the essence of the character and the Japanese kind of anime roots. I mean, it's a video game, but you know what I mean. So that's the goal. I'm going to draw his arm through. You won't see it because of the shield, but it makes it easier for me to make sure the shield will work. I think you made it. I think I'm hearing. I can hear him coming downstairs.
He thought he was going to die. Did you hear that?
Oh, I heard. I don't think it came through any of the microphones, but yeah, I can hear him squealing the whole way down. We haven't really wanted to bring the dogs downstairs. Really, because you bring them downstairs, next thing you know, it becomes their pooping ground and you don't see it for 2 days, and yeah, it's not good.
And he didn't enjoy coming down the stairs. That's a lot of stairs.
Yeah. Well, it's good that you made him walk at least.
I just dragged him down.
All right, do your job, man.
I'm learning how to draw since the dog sounds like he's being killed. He thought he was.
Yeah.
He did think he was. I just put the leash on and dragged him down the stairs. It's only one way to do that.
Charles Petrie says 300,000 subs before year's end, right? It'd be nice. I don't know. And it's, you know, always, it's out of my control. So I try not to. But I feel like we're kind of on course right now. I'll say that. With the growth that we're having, we're on course. And it really depends on the last video that I do. When they do well, they grow faster. We grow faster. So, and I have the next video filmed.
Great. You did that today.
Did that today, yeah.
I'm learning how to draw, says Meredith. I have a great blackmailing picture on Dave. Tell him I want him to get his book on PDF, or his reputation of being cool is ruined.
Oh no.
Xander Malcolmson has a super chat for $1, but I don't see the comment. So Xander, hit me up and tag me. And Enrique Ingles123 has a super chat for £2, saying, just testing to see if I can finally super chat again.
You don't have to say 1, 2, 3 when you say Ricky.
I do, because it's in his name.
All right. Guess you do.
Oh.
So I played. Meredith has never played a video game in her life. Let's be honest.
I've never played a video game.
Pretty much. That's close enough to true.
I used to play like in television, like I love the Burger Time.
Okay, I take it all back.
And like you climb up the ladder and then like make the burgers by running across them.
Right.
And I liked Dungeons and Dragons. That game scared me, if you can believe it.
Dungeons and Dragons. That's not a video game.
Yes, it did. Yeah, it was.
Was it?
Yeah, it was on television. You'd have like a dragon. It was like it was a yellow maze, and the snake would go. I can't believe you never played it.
Now, you know what though? Bear in mind that I didn't really have a lot of video games when I was that age. We actually got a Nintendo or an Atari years later. We got one used. The newspaper everywhere used to have, buy and sell, whatever. Anyway, we got one from the newspaper, and all of the cartridges didn't even have the plastic on them. They were just a metal insert. But I loved it. It was great. It's great when we got it. But yeah, I pretty much got the games that we got with it, and that wasn't one of them.
Well, we never had the Dungeons and Dragons. We only had it at my dad's friend's house.
Yeah.
And every time I played it, I loved it.
All right. It's great.
Dan Genovese
You're
has
a true gamer.
Has a super chat for $5. Link, I'm so excited for this. Hi, Dave, Meredith, and the flock.
Good to see you, Dan.
Before you were a gamer. That's what we can say.
Yeah.
Jamal Rashid has a super chat for $4.99. Finch flock, what's going on? All is good my way. Hope all is good with the Finch family. Link man, first game I had on Super Nintendo. God is good. There we go. Amen.
Yeah. But for me, it was.
I never had the Super Nintendo.
Well, I had the GameCube, and I played Windwalker. That was my first Legend of Zelda game, and that was such a great game. I think it was really the first kind of a narrative story sort of game that I ever played. That that wasn't just two people fighting, one person here, or a card game or something.
Rike Ingles 123 has a super chat for £5. Yes, I can super chat again. Take my money, bitches. And by the way, I think it's funny when you say the 1, 2, 3, Meredith. So I will not stop.
Yeah.
I will say 1, 2, 3.
Okay, that's great.
Hey, if it's in your name, I'm going to say it.
You do the best accents.
What do you mean? I just, just being me.
Yeah.
Just being me.
Never stop.
Gotta be me. It's not always fun
to listen to.
That's right. Doobie Doolar has a super chat for $5. In television, Dungeons and Dragons, one of the great games ever. See,
there you go.
Dungeons, like you are missing out. It is almost worth looking online and seeing if we can get it in television just to be able to play.
What's bugging me right now, though, is
I can't believe that you never ever. I'm going to see if I can get a screenshot.
I feel like his face is a little.
Is Link a boy or a girl?
Boy.
I thought Link was a girl.
No, you're thinking of the girl.
Oh, am I thinking of the girl?
Yeah. Zelda? I think it's Zelda.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm thinking of. Okay, on television, Dungeons and Dragons. I'm going to try to get images to see if I can see what I get. Because I'd like to show you like what it looked like. Okay. Oh yeah, there it is. That's what it looked like. That's classic right there.
So yeah, I'm missing out.
Yeah. And the maze would appear as you went.
Yeah.
And like you might suddenly you'd enter a room and like there'd be the snake, and the snake would come after you, and you'd have to run.
You know, I will grant you, I played not Golden Axe. I did play that too, but there was another one, Gauntlet. I think it was Gauntlet, and you had the wizard and you had the warrior, and you know. Anyway, that was a great game. I played that in the arcade when I was a kid, when I could, which was not much. For the most part, I watched other people play.
The Art of Wade King has a super chat for $5. Just showing support. I can't talk to you.
Wow.
Just showing support, enjoying the stream while working.
Awesome. Great to see you here, Wade. Wade actually has a buddy that Wade volunteered to come on the stream earlier this summer, and and then he talked to his friend after he volunteered, of course, right? And he agreed to do it. He's a little nervous to do it. We haven't talked yet, actually, but that's coming up pretty soon, as long as we can still convince him to do it. I'm going to keep it to myself for now, but yeah, I'm pretty pumped about it. I know Eric Grove, my co-host for all of our artist streams, is very excited about it too. So thank you, Wade, for that.
Trying to get the puppy on the couch. It's not working.
You want me to just pick him up?
Well, I don't know. He's not settled right now. Let's see. Let's see how it goes.
What I'm afraid of is he's going to say, "Oh, this isn't part of the house," and just drop a deuce.
Well, he's already done that tonight, so I think we're okay. And we're down here.
Yeah.
So. Okay. Next super chat comes from Allison McGlone for $1.99. Allison says, "Why play a video game D&D when I'm here to run it?"
Yeah, and see, that's what I was just going to say. That's what kills me is I really wanted to play some D&D earlier this year. We were talking about it. I'd still really like to do it, and it's so hard to find the time. And I have all these D&D modules and all this stuff, and yeah, I'm a big fan. And I haven't done it since I was a kid, and I kind of know why.
I'm just going to say you burnt me out on it.
Yeah, I'm sure.
You did. The whole, like, creating a character. And...
So I had my buddy Lance over, and he's a big D&D fan. And between the two of us, we spent 3.5 to 4 hours just creating our character.
I spent like an hour and a half sitting there thinking we were going to start the game. And then I realized this is nonsense. And I walked
She got mad and she was done. That was the end of it.
I'm done.
That was my one shot, and I blew it.
I tried playing with your brother and with Ken and Leslie.
Yep.
Your sister and Ken. And all anybody did was talk.
You know, we had the kids there too, and we're visiting.
I'm just saying, like, I've tried to do it twice now, and it did not live up to how good I remembered it being when I was a kid. And some things leave the past in the past.
Apparently.
Because you guys have ruined it, like, so hard.
I feel like I'm a little wide in the hips. What do you think?
You are.
Yeah.
I looked at you this morning and I was thinking the same thing. Wide in the hips, Dave.
That's what I get for not drawing through properly.
Keep hitting that Stairmaster.
Not even commenting. Just pretending you're not talking.
God,
I have, by the way,
Hi, Marsh.
been hitting this Stairmaster. I've been exercising every morning.
Super chat for $20 without a comment.
Oh, well, thank you so much for the super chat. Hopefully you have a comment, and we'll
add a comment, tag me in it so that I can read it. Darnax has a super chat for $2. Why can't we have a day of blood sport for artists?
A day of blood sport for artists.
Yeah. I don't know what that means.
So I want to point out that, you know, most of us artists are not the blood sport type. I love the movies. This is the thing. We're all a bunch of Walter Mitty's. That's why we love this stuff. It's fun to pretend and, you know, relate with the hero and feel like, you know, you can see yourself in that. But yeah, I don't know that many of us actually want to fight to the death. Meredith is gone again. I'm just going to sit here and go quiet for the next 30 seconds until she comes back. Oh, here she comes. That's a little high. Low. I don't think this is going to take a huge amount of time, Meredith, but it is definitely a little planning to get all the little symbols right.
All right. Oh, the chat blipped on me while I walked away with the puppy to see if you wanted to go upstairs.
That was a no?
Huh?
Didn't want to go upstairs?
Nope. Matt Thomas has a super chat for $10. Hey, Dave, longtime fan, first time in the chat. I just won a bid for a King Spawn 1 signed by you. Pumped for that. And your stream is awesome.
Thank you so much, Matt. I really appreciate it. Thank you for coming by. Hopefully you'll stick around and be with us for a while. The dog is barking at shadows.
He is barking at the sound of the dogs upstairs walking across the floor. Is what he's barking at.
This is such a disaster.
We forget. He's literally 5 months old.
Yeah.
All new things. That's actually good he's down here. All right. The Hyperblast has a super chat for $5. Oh, and okay. I was wondering if they could be a possible collab with James Gurney or Tyler Edlin.
I'd certainly be all for it. Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. James Gurney is obviously a massive legend. They're both great. I would love to do it. This is the nice thing about it is there are really endless, incredible artists out there. And so many that I'm a massive fan of, and I want to learn something from. So I don't see it running out anytime soon. All right, I'm almost done here. Adam
Meyer has a super chat. I got it right.
Almost didn't, but yeah.
I almost didn't, but I did. Happy Monday, Dave and Meredith. The Dan Panosian stream was awesome.
Thank you. I need to post. I did some pencil shading on mine afterwards, and I need to post that and get it up on Instagram. So I'll have to do that. And thank you. Yeah, he was such a great guest. It was really, really great having him on. Hopefully we can do it again at some point. And he's the kind of guest that really knows what he's talking about. And I felt almost like I could just stop talking and just let him go. And I was entertained, so I was really happy to have him. This puppy thing's turned into a real problem.
A boondoggle. Well, I don't want him in there chewing on Isaac's strings.
Yeah.
Let's just shut the door.
There you go. Pretty sure that's what I said. Going in.
No, now he can only be in one place. Now you have to settle. All right. The Three Eyebrows has a super chat for 25 Filipino dollars. When you draw sequentials for a new project, do you spend time designing environments beforehand, like rooms, cities, etc., or do you just wing it? Thanks.
I wing it. 100% I wing it. What I do is I make sure to read the full script. I've learned my lesson the hard way, unfortunately, that if you don't, you can. And usually writers are very good about giving you a warning if something's really story specific, but it can happen that they don't. And so you need to know exactly what is required of whatever room or environment that you're setting up. So if it's a room and there's one door here and another door leading out the back, you need to know that if that's going to play a part of the story later. And I do make sure that when I first design a room, I put a lot of thought into it and find reference that will help if it's necessary. It's not always. And try and make it look lived in. I have like a bit of a checklist that I go through, and that is I want to make sure that it's large enough to accommodate what needs to happen in the room. So the right size. I need to make sure that if there's anything story specific that's written in there, that is prominently displayed, so it doesn't get lost and it doesn't come up like a shock. And then I want to think about who the characters are and the kind of lives they live and give them things in their environment that reflect that. There's certainly artists that do that far, far better, and can make things look absolutely incredible and so believable. But I try to go through that, and then every panel after that, I make sure to look back at what I did originally and try and make sure that it looks like the same environment. But no, I don't. Wrong pen every time. I don't design things beforehand. I just go for it. There's never time.
Dan Genovese has a super chat for $5. Dave, I'm so sorry for being presumptuous. Is this a commission for your Kickstarter?
As a matter of fact, it is. And next week is going to be the other one. I wouldn't always do it this way. If my commissions were Batman, I would have just drawn them. But these are the kind of commissions. I thought this was such a great idea. I was pretty excited to do it. Next week's also, I'm really looking forward to. It's a character that's very near and dear for me, next week's. So I decided to do them on the live stream. So yes, absolutely. These are. So no presumption. And actually, I wanted to mention
just
that.
Posted a picture of the puppy on Monday night, the Finch Flock page.
Oh, yeah.
But connection's taking longer than normal to upload because we're in the basement.
Yeah, I don't get the best cell phone signal down here.
Oh, but now the cat's crying because cat's locked out. So I shut the door. Craig L, static art. That nobody's happy. Has a super chat for $1.99. Hey guys, nice choice. And it looks just like pencils. Are you doing just pencils?
Well, no, not now. There's ink now, so unfortunately,
Looks like just pencils. It's not
Yeah.
now. I'm too late. Matt DeSantos has a super chat for $5. Hello, legend. So glad Monday Night Draw is back. Question: do you recommend doing a bunch of thumbnail sketches before your final piece? Thank you.
It really depends. I would say yes, absolutely. I recommend it. If you are really experienced and you've drawn really similar panels many times and you feel comfortable and you know where everything goes, you can kind of see it in your head. Then by all means, just draw it. Or what you can do, I'm waiting for him to just go. It's going to happen. What you can do is, this is my page here, obviously. And if I have a panel through here, I can just go and do what I did here and just draw, I've got one head here and one head here and just draw shapes. Really, really simple. And I can arrange things that way. And I don't have to do layouts on a separate piece of paper. I do that a lot of the time. But if it's more complex, definitely doing a layout is probably a better way to go. I always do a layout for Monday Night Draw just because I find I can talk and draw no problem. But what is hard for me to do is lay something out and talk. That's like having to think. This part here, there's thought involved, but it's easier. The actual drawing.
Darnex has a super chat for $5. Creation is the best part, and my favorite character of D&D is my barbarian tiefling. I would be up for classic fantasy adventure, no real world take.
See, this is the thing. Like, it's hard to impress on somebody how satisfying it can be to create your own character and put a lot of thought into all those stats because they all make such a big difference and really get in there in depth, and there's it's not just stats, it's also your character's likes and dislikes and fears and weaknesses. It's a lot of stuff there and it's fun, but not when your wife's tapping her fingers on the table and then 100% giving up and walking away. So one of these days we'll get her to do it again.
Someday. All right, next super chat comes from Dr. Rock Art.
Dr. Rock.
$4.99. Hi guys, hope you're well. Fortunately, my life is hell, which means kids aren't letting us sleep, so I can watch the stream. Drawing already looks great.
Thank you very much. I've got a collab coming up actually with Dr. Rock for next month, ideally for Halloween. I worry just because everything takes time, and trying to hit a specific date, I find. So here's for instance, and the dog is gone again. So who knows when Meredith will be back? But I just did another Walking Dead cover, 2 more, and I turned them in last night. And like an idiot, I didn't pay enough attention to what issue I was on. I skipped an issue by mistake, and so now I've got to do another cover actually really fast. They need it, and it's this month. So, and things like that just come up in the schedule. I also have, by the way, I did a course for Proco.com. They have a YouTube channel, and they're a great channel. It's been up there for a little bit now. It's on drawing a comic book page from start to finish. I did 1 page. We have another page that I've finished. I'm not sure if it's up yet, maybe not. And I've got 1 more page to draw. I knew that was coming. Well, they just asked for it. And so that's due. I've got to do that this week too. Yeah, stuff like this comes up, and it can be, and these are prior commitments, and really I should have this all kind of locked down, but I don't always. So especially with the extra Walking Dead cover in the same time frame, and I can't say, oh no, I don't have time. They need the cover. So.
Well, now he knows how to go up and down the stairs.
Good. Bonus. Just what I wanted.
I just took him upstairs and he came right back down.
Well, that's good. You know what? At least he doesn't feel trapped, hopefully.
Whew. He's a lot of weight to lift upstairs, though.
Yeah.
Geek Dragon has a super chat for $5.
Catch your breath. She's catching her breath.
It was Dungeons and Dragons and Advanced Dungeons and Dragons for television. There were 2 games. All I know is I played the one that Dave showed.
So there you go.
Television.
There was a Dungeons and Dragons game that came out on, I think, PlayStation or whatever. So last year, the year before, a couple years ago. And unfortunately, I heard it wasn't very good. I didn't try it. You're not going to make it.
I might not. I've had a lot of asthma lately.
Meredith.
What?
Oh, no, I was going to talk about you, not to you. Oh. Meredith has been very tired and miserable today. I came up from working this afternoon. I think I was actually still working. Whatever. Anyway, I came upstairs, which I try not to do on days like that, but I didn't know. And I got the whole rundown of everything that's wrong. Those are the times I think, you know what? We really need to have a bathroom downstairs.
I can get you a bucket.
Oh, good. Yeah, perfect. That's great.
Xander Malcolmson has a super chat for $1. Xander wants to know, sticking with the game theme, can you add Solid Snake or Leon from Resident Evil 2 or 4 to the list?
Yes, absolutely. Solid Snake is a character that I'd really like to do very, very soon. We have a few kind of lined up right now that we've been kind of talking about, and I certainly haven't forgotten. So those will be coming. But Solid Snake I'd like to do soon. So I know what I'm doing next week. I know what I'm doing for Halloween. Beyond that, and I have a pretty good idea. But yeah, Solid Snake will be certainly before Christmas. We'll get to that one.
Corey Fuller has a super chat for $5. Hi, Dave and Meredith. Thank you both for the amazing stream and tutorial videos. Being a horror fan, Dave, are you looking forward to camp? Oh my gosh, between the coughing and the yawning to Campbell's SGT Rock.
You know what? I don't know anything about it, which makes me not the best horror fan. Apparently, I mean, I love Megadeth, and I had not listened to their album until finally. I listened to it a bunch of times a couple weeks ago, a week and a half ago. So yeah, I'm not even aware of it. I'll check it out though. I'll have to take a look. My type of horror generally, and I'm a big fan of Evil Dead. It was the scariest movie I'd ever seen when I was younger. I had nightmares about that movie. And you watch it now, and obviously it's a little comical, but it's a scary movie when I was young. But my favorites tend to be, I guess, a little more serious. What was the movie? Dale and I think like his brother, they're both from the South, and they get mistaken for zombies or something like that. Anyway, I can't even remember. It's too long ago. It was such a hilarious movie. Anyway, I need to watch that one again.
All I can think of is the New Heart Show. My name's Daryl. This is my my name's Bob. This is my brother Daryl. This is my other brother Daryl.
I think it's. I can't remember. I can't even remember the name of it. It's such a great movie, and yeah, not exactly selling it.
No, you're really not. Tagmo Monoworks has a super chat for $5. Tag says, I'm late. Back from the vet. I should have been a vet and get paid. All pets are okay, and thanks for all you do. Thanks, Tag.
Oh, that's great.
Glad your pets are okay.
Yes. Yeah, it's always worth taking the time because they can't really tell you when they're in pain. All right. So I'm going to take a break really quickly from drawing, and I want to show you guys. I covered this actually on Thursday's stream with Dan Panosian, but let me go ahead, hit share screen. Share screen. There we go. Come on. There we go. All right. So I wanted to take a minute to mention Unbreakable Red Sonja #1, coming from Dynamite Comics by Jim Zub and Giovanni Valletta. Jim Zub is an incredible writer, a huge fan of all things Conan and sword and sorcery, and he's a real expert on that whole genre, and just a really nice guy, and a Canadian, which most of you guys, you're not a Canadian, so that might not mean much, but for me it's kind of special. He's a fellow Canadian, so I wanted to mention this book is coming up. It's $3.99. It also has and we mentioned this on Thursday, it has an incredible cover by Dan Panosian. So we talked about that a little bit, some of his process behind it. It's all ink wash back there. He did this live, Meredith, that picture. I don't know if you can see it up on the screen right now, but that was drawn live.
By
Dan Panosian.
Just recently?
Well, I don't know. I don't know how long ago, but it was done live. I could tell you that. And
that's gorgeous.
Yeah, he was my guest on Thursday.
It's amazing.
Yes. Yeah, it really is.
He threw everything. Like, he even threw a horse in there.
Yes.
He threw a horse in there, which means he's my new favorite artist.
Well, and it's beautiful.
Sorry, Dave.
That's all right.
You're number 2.
Okay, this is a great cover too. I have to admit, actually, I don't know the artist.
You might have to give me that red Sonja with the horse on it.
I'll have to get it for you. And then
Merry Christmas.
I've got a cover. This is actually a bit of a quicker sketch, so it's more of a sketch cover, but I've also got a cover for this one too. So in the original cover, obviously, is really beautiful. They all are. I hate to miss one here. And this one, I mean, look at that, Meredith. It's a beautiful cover.
Yeah.
Really, really nice.
Who's that?
That is, okay, look, I don't know. But it's beautiful. And I know that I should know. But yeah, it really looks absolutely amazing. I think it says, let's see, here we go. I'm trying to read it. I can't read it. Cover A is Lucio Perillo, and that's a beautiful painted cover. Cover B is by Selena. Cover C is Giuseppe Mattioni. Cover D is, so I think this one is
making this painful. I'm not gonna lie.
this is Giuseppe, and yeah, awesome. Anyway, I will stop. Thank you, Meredith. Unbreakable Red Sonja, #1.
Everything's so painful.
I do my best. I really do. Thanks for pointing that out.
Gosh.
All right. Anyway, Red Sonja,
Ask a simple
Unbreakable,
question.
#1.
5-hour answer.
$4. You can get it right.
Buy the book. Don't let Dave dissuade you.
At the link.
It's not as boring as his promotion of it.
No, it's not. Yeah. You know what? Somebody better could have promoted it. It's true. But you know what? You can get it. We're going to put a link up in the chat. I'm going to put a link in the description when the stream is finished and it's not live. Unfortunately, that's the one thing I forgot to do. But I wanted to make sure to get that in there. So everybody, please check that out.
Please don't pay attention to Dave's bad promo. Check it out anyway.
I do my best.
Philippe Trindade. I hope I said that right. Philippe has a super chat for 5 reals. Hi, Dinam. Greetings from Brazil. Came here to say the season 1 book just arrived. Looks great. Can't wait to meet you at Brazil's Comic-Con someday.
Awesome. Yeah. Well, I can't wait to get back there someday. It's already, it was 2015. If you can believe that, Meredith. 2015 that we were there.
Was it? That's a long time ago.
It is.
7 years.
It feels like, you know.
Are you sure?
Yes, I am absolutely sure. So I remember we were on Wonder Woman. I was just finishing that up, and I was going on to Batman, and that started. I think it came out in 2016, but I started in 2015. I remember that because I had my meeting with Dan DiDio, because he's the publisher at the time, about drawing Batman. So.
Kevin Mandevil has a super chat for $9.99. Dave, when you're under contract and you know you're going to be doing multiple covers of a series, do you always focus on one at a time, or will you map out a few at a time for a possible thematic effect?
I do them one at a time. I really, maybe, you know, I should map them out for a thematic effect. I really don't. Especially Walking Dead. This is, in the end, well over 150 covers. Like 100, it's a lot of covers by the time I'm finished. And so trying to do something really thematic with that would be very hard, certainly beyond me. I find I don't have a very good design sense. It's not a strength for me.
Dennis Kelly wants to know if there will be a Monday night draw on Halloween, because Halloween is on a Monday this year.
Yeah, absolutely. And
what?
What do you mean, what?
We're going to be sitting here for Halloween? What about all the trick-or-treaters who are going to come to our door?
We live out in the country. We've got.
Yeah, we might get 2.
We got 3 neighbors on our street. They're all.
Hear them from down here.
They're all retired.
Oh, he's gonna make me do Monday night draw on Halloween. What if I want to get dressed up and go to some Halloween party?
Right? Yeah,
In
you
the
totally,
barn.
you totally do that.
I am totally a partier. I am party hard.
Yeah, we'll be here for Halloween.
Like
Absolutely.
Till 9 o'clock. I'm a hardcore partier. Meanwhile, my kid gets up to go out at 9 o'clock.
Maybe we'll bring in a special guest host just for a reprieve.
See if you can get Elvira.
Yeah, there you go. See?
Or Zombie. I don't think it would talk very much, though. You might have to host yourself. Dr. Rockart has a super chat for $1.99. No worries, Dave. We take all the time we need.
Awesome. Well, thank you. Yeah, it is kind of better that way, just to not plan around a holiday. So we did that before, and it ended up being very, very stressful. Although we got it out for the holiday, so you know, there's kind of something to be said for that. But yeah, we've got something coming, which I'm really looking forward to. It's always a lot of fun to collab with Dr. Rock.
Soy Base Jeremy says, Meredith, tell Dave this looks cool.
Thank you,
Dave. This looks cool.
Yeah, thank you to both you and Soy Base Jeremy.
Adversiar says, I need to read Red Sonja. The art is great, and I bet the story is too. It's Jim Zub. Is that who you said?
Jim Zub, yeah. You've never met. Have you met him? I don't think that you have.
What?
Okay, what? I don't know who you know.
Yeah, that's right. You don't know who I know. Jim and I are tight.
Okay, I don't know this.
You know nothing.
Yeah, all right, fair enough. This is just getting uglier.
Assumptions about who I know.
Wow. All right, so you know Jim Zub.
I know Jim. I've sat beside him multiple times at shows and been on multiple panels with him. I would say of all the people in comics, I probably know Jim the best of other people that I don't know in comics.
No kidding.
Yeah, I know Jim quite well.
And see, I met Jim actually really for the first time in San Diego this year.
You don't know Jim Zub.
No, well.
So there. I actually have a life in comics that does not include you.
You do. You know what? I do know Jim Zub. I just didn't know him
So
before. Presumptuous, yeah.
presumptuous of
Yeah,
you.
that's awful.
So yeah, what I was gonna say was Jim Zub wrote it. Jim Zub is an amazing writer, and it will be, by virtue of that, an amazing story.
Yes, and also, you're
And
supporting
maybe Jim is like,
a good
Meredith's
guy.
claiming more knowledge of me. That's not true. Jim likes me.
Are you sure?
Well, I'm gonna say yeah until he tells me no. So there.
All right.
Dr. Rockart has a super chat for $1.99. Must be a horsewife thingy. Same thing over here, Dave. That means his wife wants the red Sonia with the horse too.
Oh, it's I think certainly my favorite cover. I love I love a bunch of them, but yeah, that one it's just not even just because it's a horse. It's just such a great looking cover.
Greg L. Static Art has a super chat for $4.99. Greg wants to know, how do you draw legs in these kind of action crouching poses? And Meredith, I hope you feel better. Thank you.
Okay. So it all starts with the hips, and I'm going to keep it really, really simple and just draw this shape for my upper hip area. I did this for a female's hip video, and I really like it. So I'm drawing basically a ring right here, and then my crotch is going to go here down the center, and really my hip bones would hit about here. And that's why I like this shape. I end up with something, this is more of a traditional pelvis shape that you would see and that I worked with for years, from How to Draw Comics from Our Way, that kind of thing. I just find this a little bit more complex to draw from different angles. This one here, for whatever reason, give it a try. It's such simple shapes that just drawing this shape here and then like a little triangle here just for the crotch area, it just really, really works. And then what I do is I'm going to bend this leg. And so I'm going to start with a circle here. I'm going to put a circle here. It's smaller because my knee is obviously smaller than my hip. And this is going to be coming toward me like a tube, like that. But obviously a leg isn't a tube. It has a little more shape. And what I really want to do is really accentuate that shape. So I'm going to really bring that out here. And it's got this long muscle with all the muscle. You've got your quadriceps. So anyway, the muscles on the front of the leg there. Then my knee is going to hit here. I'm getting a little more complex even by putting anatomy in, but I just want to show you, And then for the lower leg, I like using a ball. I find that really works. Or you can use like a bit of a diamond shape. Either way, it really works. And then you have your lower, this would be, John Madden used to call them cankles on like some of these football players that have like massive legs. It's like a calf ankle, but the ankle's so big anyway. So this would be the cankle. So there you go. And then for the other leg, I'm going to point this much more downward. So I'm going to start with my circle down like this. And because I'm kind of pointing away, but not at too much of an angle, I don't really want to get too accentuated with these kinds of shapes. I think I got actually a little bit too far with that. My knee. And I'm going to draw a circle again. And then let's turn it into a diamond shape. I've been kind of doing that lately. I can't remember where I learned that. I think it was actually from looking at Joe Quesada. We did a Joe Quesada study stream this summer. And then my other foot is going to come off of that. And so that's really kind of how I end up doing it. I just want to say quickly before Meredith freaks out. So this would be this shape here from the side, directly from the side. I'm going to draw really kind of where my hip bone would be. And then for me to draw my leg, I'm actually going to hinge it from up here. So I'm not even using this. So there's a leg. And then I can kind of just connect the butt into there, just like that. And it actually really works. It's such a simple kind of a structure. All of these structures are not reality. They're all shorthands for a much more complex system. So if you can find something that works, it doesn't matter that this is such a simple way to do it. Just hinging it at the front here and then attaching a curve for the butt. Hey, if that works, and it works for me, I can tell you. So give it a try. All right.
Did you think because I was trying to breathe that I was freaking out?
Yes, actually.
That was just me trying to breathe.
I can't believe you gave me such a hard time on my promo. I was doing great.
Yeah, you were doing so great. You were, and then until you weren't.
Yeah. I do this at home too. I get lost in the weeds, and I can be talking for a little while before I realize nobody's listening anymore. I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I should stop.
Landon Quarter has a super chat for 9. I just talk over you at that point. Has a super chat.
People do that to me a lot, and there you go.
Yeah, that's. Hi, Dave. Big fan of your work, says Landon. Your streams keep me company while on the night shift, and your Batman art really inspired me to get back into trying my hand at comic book art.
Well, thank you very much.
Smiley face and thumbs up.
Thank you so much. Something I wish I could have done. I was a security guard before I got into comics. I mean, this is a long time ago now. And I used to read books, which was great, when you had a good book. But we didn't have things like live streams or anything like that. We're all spoiled now. Okay.
Radiant Dawn says, I'm going to ask again just in case it was missed last time. Dave, would you consider drawing my favorite Mortal Kombat characters, Scorpion and Sub-Zero?
Yeah, absolutely. And yes, I know I've said that we would do that before. At least I'm pretty sure that I said we would, and we will. And I don't actually remember you asking that last week, so I think it did get missed. So thank you for the reminder. And yeah, that's definitely this season. Those will be coming up for sure. I mean, they're huge favorites for me. So definitely like to do them.
Next super chat comes from Navy Sharks for $50.
Whoa.
Hi, Dave. Hi, Meredith. Hello, Fidge Flock. Dave, I know you can't give specifics, but how is your create your own project coming?
It's coming along actually really well right now. It's taken a bit of a hitch since I realized that I had another Walking Dead cover to do right away. But
What?
Oh yeah, you were chasing the dog. So when I drew my last 2 Walking Dead covers, apparently I skipped an issue, and I drew a cover for 58 and not 57. They need a cover for 57, so I've got to do that this week pretty quickly. Hey, look, 58 will still get used. It just means I don't know what you're so upset. Does it actually even make a difference?
I just want you to be back on the create your own project.
Yeah, me too. But it is coming along actually really well. I've got more script that I'm working through, and yeah, it's coming. Meredith's gonna have an aneurysm.
Maybe. Kevin Mandeville says, I don't know if you know this or not, Dave, but Meredith is a pretty big deal. She knows people. There are many leather-bound books in the library.
You know what's funny? She doesn't even know what that reference means. That's the best part.
I don't.
You don't.
I don't. It's not. You're not wrong.
You don't, do you? Do you know?
No, I have no idea. This is because I don't watch movies like this. It's from a movie, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's not how I watch movies. I watch most guys watch movies from I'm going to generalize again, but there I go. Guys watch movies from a detail point of view. I personally, as a woman, watch movies from an emotional story arc point of view. So I have no idea what it's from.
It's a joke, leather-bound books. It's like, the characters being pretentious on purpose. So yeah, it's not a detail. It's like saying swimming.
Is it from a movie?
Yes. I'm okay. I'm hesitating to say it now because I probably have forgotten, but it's Will Ferrell.
I was gonna say, is it from the Adam Sandler movie?
No, it's Will Ferrell.
Okay.
Am I wrong? Please tell me I'm not wrong after I just did a victory lap on Meredith.
Yeah, you just did a victory lap. Ricky Ingles 123 has a super chat for €10. It's official, Dave. Sunday at 9, you'll be drawing at the New York Con, and you'll see a shorter, younger, heavily tattooed, less talented version of yourself coming up with the biggest smile ever.
I don't know about less talented, that's for sure. But it'd be great to see you. I'm glad you're confirmed to go.
Adam Meyer has a super chat for $5. Look at that. Not even a hesitation.
Oh, yeah, it just came right out. That was good.
Came right out.
Yeah.
Because I planned it in my head before I said it. Dave, do you ever plan on coming to Emerald City Comic Con?
I have no immediate plans, but that's certainly not to say I wouldn't go. It's a great show. And I've been a few times. It's actually been a little bit. I was going to Emerald City, which I loved. And then the last few shows, I was going to Portland. We went to Portland a bunch of times. So be nice to get back there. So yeah, no immediate plans, but I would definitely go.
Brad Scott Art has a super chat for $20. Brad says, "Hola, David. I'm exhausted." Me too, Brad. And I'm probably going to tap out early. Probably. That's what my kid would say, probably.
Probably.
So I just wanted to show some love before I pass out. Miss Meredith rocks, as always. Thanks,
Well,
Brad.
yeah, thank you.
So kind.
Yeah, if Meredith could tap out early, she would.
She totally would.
This is one of those weeks, and this happens a lot, where I think, I don't know if we're going to... I know I'm doing the stream one way or another, but I might be doing it myself. I might be saying, Eric, please, can you come in? I thought that might happen tonight. But you pulled it out.
So far. It's only 8:51, so...
We're making good time.
Dan DeSanto says, "I feel like a $50 super chat deserves its own original Meredith song, or at least a sound effect."
We don't have sound effects. You know what? That's my fault. I got the new...
Wait. No.
Okay.
Navy Shark. Oh, but that was going to do the Baby Shark. Do. But then I can't steal that because it's probably copyrighted.
Oh, just go for it. We'll take the
So
risk.
I'm just going to have to sing a song for Navy Sharks because Navy Sharks did the $50 super chat, right?
Yep.
Navy Sharks. He wants to know how the Creator project is going.
Dan, why?
It's not. It's not going.
It really was. But it's not.
Dave hasn't drawn a page for 2 months.
Yeah.
That's what he told me today.
That's true.
He confessed. Little way.
Hey, this is, sometimes out of my hands too,
Yeah. You broke down. I can't just come up with that. I have to have the right tune for the song. Row, row, row your boat. Navy Sharks. He gave a super chat just to know how Dave is doing and not to say he's fat.
You were so fired.
That was better.
Oh yeah, no, that was
so
perfect. That's great. Dan,
just once I have the tune, I'm good to go.
It is great to have Dan here. Dan is, you guys all know Dan. He's incredible and one of our very, very best guests, and a guest that we certainly hope we can have on again. That said, I can't believe you'd suggest that. Why you do this to me?
People like to see you squirm. Ross Main has a super chat for £2. Hi, Dina. Do you have plans for a Brahm study screen?
I didn't, but yes. Yes, I do. How I didn't have a plan? Yeah, he's a huge influence for me. And you can really see it, especially if you look at my old Ascension stuff. And this is, going back to 97. So this is a long time ago. But so much of that is really taken from Brahm. So yeah, lots of that book. There's some Rick Barry in there. Rick Barry is actually he's another contemporary of Brahm. But he did a picture of a kind of a goth girl with angel wings that just really resonated for me, and that ended up being a big influence on the book. Now, goth girls with angel wings is not really my thing. So I turned it into an angel with claws, like a dude with claws. But regardless, it was a big influence. And then from there, I found Brahm, and it's a very, very big influence. So yes, I would absolutely love to do that. I think that'd be a great idea.
Jimmy Reyes is taunting me. He says, Meredith Finch, do you know what video game this character Link is from?
Do you know?
Is it The Legend of Zelda?
Yeah.
Is it?
It is.
Oh, is it actually?
Yes.
Oh, see, Na, 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 na,
Oh, man. This is all falling apart.
And it was Anchorman, Lance Boyer says.
Anchorman. So it was Will Ferrell.
Got it
Anchorman.
right.
Thank you. Yeah. There you go. At least I wasn't wrong. Yeah, there comes a point you know these things and you kind of forget. And I haven't seen Anchorman in years. It's all just been reduced to memes now.
Michael Johnson Curry has a super chat for $4.99. Oh, and by the way, Dan
Yes.
DeSantos says, "Oh, I know what I'm asking for."
Just stirring the pot.
Michael Johnson super chat for $4.99. Have you ever worked with a digital inker on a book? How is it compared to traditional, and what happens with the original art? You've never worked with a digital inker.
Oh, I have. Actually, Jimmy's done stuff digitally.
Has he?
Yeah.
Oh, that says it all right there.
That sounds like an insult, Jimmy. I'm sorry. I haven't really done it enough that there's like a formalized process, truthfully. I'm going to have to take a quick intermission here while I try and find my brush. Which I know.
Are you taking an intermission? Do we need some more songs?
No, we're good. Look at that. I knew right where it was.
Little puppy on the floor.
Okay, you got to stop. I'm begging you.
And the kitty is sleeping by the door.
I can still
Can't just mute.
still mute your microphone.
Can't just mute me.
Actually, you notice it's more in my reach now again. So
Yeah, I know.
you know what? This week I'm going to reprogram those buttons. It even has. Oh, I'm going to do it, and it has this thing here that you can write down what you've programmed them to, and so I don't forget. And yeah, we'll have some sounds back.
Can I make the pick of the sounds?
Oh yeah, sure.
A car backfiring.
One thing I'm not going to do, I got a lot of my old sounds from Motion Array. And I actually put some music on some of my videos a while ago from Motion Array. I had a membership, so you get the rights to it. The copyright struck everything that I did with them, even though I had a membership. And it's not the first time I've been copyrighted, not by them, but by other people. And I had a receipt. I had everything. And none of it mattered. So I didn't even bother fighting it with this one. I just figured, okay, it's just what happens. So now, yeah, when I get sound, I won't be doing it that way.
Amy Morris has a super chat for $20. Aloha, Lady Mary Death and Flockmaster. Tom Morris here. Don't tell my missus. Tales of my demise have been grossly exaggerated. I've been lurking and recouping, just dropping in to share some love. Long live the flow.
Okay. Oh man, I figured you'd be a little downbeat today. I don't know what's going on. I was kind of looking forward to that. Well, it's great to see Tom Morris. That was Tom Morris and not Amy Morris.
That was Tom on Amy's account.
Okay, because I saw Amy.
Money.
I saw Amy Morris posting earlier on when I was waiting for.
Obviously, Tom.
It's Tom. Well, it's good to see you here, Tom. And yeah, it's been a little bit.
Well, because he was sick. He had a major situation.
Mm.
So we're very happy that Tom is here with us.
Yeah,
To
absolutely.
continue to share and post in the flock some awesome zombie art.
Yeah.
He's posting right now. The challenge in the flock page is, as from Tom, is to draw yourself as a zombie.
Oh, cool. You know what? I'm going to stop there. I'm using a lot of brush on the face. That's not a good idea for a character like this. I am a blunt brush inker. So
You're a blunt instrument.
yeah. Bull in a china shop.
No,
No.
I've
Okay.
worked with bulls in china shops. You are not that. You're like a turtle crossing the road when you're in a hurry to get somewhere to pick up your kid.
You know what? Well, you're not wrong. It's very offensive. Look, I don't speed. I'm just not in enough of a hurry. I'm just going where I'm going. And okay, when I say I don't speed, I'm not that guy that's, going exactly the speed limit, but yeah.
All right. Do I just pause because it's 9:00?
That would be appreciated. Yeah. As opposed to.
It's time for the book of the week.
Okay. This is painful. I know, but it's worth it this week. We have a really good book of the week.
It's time for the book of the week.
We're good. Okay.
Go now.
Check this out. The Lost Art of Heinrich Clay. This stuff has not been collected, I think, ever since it was originally published. He's a German artist from, okay, look, I'm not a biographer. I'm an art fan. So I couldn't tell you as much as I probably should, but he is a legend to so many artists. With this picture here, I have to say, I was going to say this looks so much like Michael Kaluta. It's Michael Kaluta. I guess I take it back. But Michael Kaluta is clearly influenced from him, from his artwork. He does, or he did. I mean, this is very old work. Absolutely incredible animals. And obviously, this isn't photo reference. It's not possible to be photo referencing an elephant dancing. So he's, I guess, a cartoonist, kind of a satirical artist, but at the very highest end. I actually found this, I think, in San Diego. I was able to get this one. I got this. There's two of them. This is volume 1, and then I got volume 2 also, which is another point. We're going to do that one too, because take a look at this. To look at a picture like this kind of detail and subtlety of shade, and then to go from this kind of work here, which is really pretty amazing. And not all the printing is as good as it could be, unfortunately. Some of it, just the printing in the book is not perfect, but it's beautiful stuff. To go, and we'll skip ahead because he's got quite a bit of that. This is really where he really shines. And these are all figures from his head. Something that was a little, I don't know, was less common then, maybe not, but I don't know of another artist really before that was able to just draw such incredible figures from his head like this. This panel here actually reminds me a lot of Mobius, actually. And yeah, every picture is really, really amazing. And they can be a little looser than some of his contemporaries that did really, really beautiful, incredible tonal work. But I think he really found his calling with this kind of work. And this is a very thick book again, so I'm not going to go through the whole thing. But even just this figure here, it's a bit of a subtle pose, but it just has so much strength to it. And all through the book, I think just, if you're looking to improve the quality of your figure drawing and make your figures more fluid and more dynamic, getting a hold of this book and drawing figures from this, I don't think you could possibly do better. And this picture here, I want to say I can really see some Bernie Wrightson in that figure. And this work is earlier than really so many of my favorites, and looking at it and seeing things that really kind of harken back to other artists that I really love. I have to think that they were looking at his work, and he has a style that really just, I think, translates well for comic illustration. So yeah, I'm flipping through pretty quickly because there is just so much, but he was an absolute genius, and I couldn't believe it when I found this book because there just haven't been collections of his work. So yeah, this was a huge coup to get a hold of. So I was pretty thrilled. I could go through this whole thing. Skip ahead a little bit more. Actually, it's a good spot to skip to. It's more animal illustrations, beautifully drawn animals, but drawn from his head. And the amount of work to learn all of those animals and be able to draw them well and naturally. Here's a lion that's giving a speech with his hand up in the air. Yeah, this is really, really amazing stuff. Unequaled work, I think. I don't know of another artist. Well, you know what? Actually, I think 2 weeks ago we had Juanjo, and I apologize, Gardino, who does Black Sad, and I'd say he's on this level. He's phenomenal. So, but yeah, really, really amazing stuff. So there you go. This is The Lost Art of Heinrich Clay, Volume 1, drawings. Volume 2 has actually a lot of paintings along with drawings. So I'll show that at some point soon. But if you can find this book, I highly, highly recommend it. It's from Lost Art Books. So yeah, picture this press. Anyway, highly recommend it. I don't know where you'd get one aside from, San Diego, but I'm sure you could find this online. There you go. Book of the week.
Beautiful. Thank you. Chris Burke has a super chat for $9.99. Any tips you can give on how to approach gesture drawing? I do great with references, but I really want to lay down any pose at a professional level without reference.
Funny you should say. Hold on. Me with all my tools on my couch. Here we go. Just back there's where I was drawing today, and they fall down into the couch. Yeah, absolutely. Looking at work like Heinrich Clay, for instance, is the key to doing it is to understand that it's like learning how to play a musical instrument. Very similar, because it's a skill that you can't just learn and say, okay, now I can do that. It's something that you have to hone, and it's something that really, it's a learning process that doesn't really end. So my favorite way of getting better at drawing figures from your own imagination is to do very, very simple outline drawings, just gesture drawings. I have a couple of videos on this on my channel, so I'd recommend taking a look at those. But draw those from other artists that you really like, something like Heinrich Clay. Draw it from life, and then do your own version yourself without looking at what you did originally, and keep repeating that process, and that will really start to make you much stronger being able to draw figures on your own. The next video actually that I filmed today is kind of about that too. I've done a few videos about it, and at the risk of being repetitive, but what I did for the next video, I don't know how to title it. But the next one, I took some figures that are not bad at all. They're actually pretty good, but they're a little stiffer than they could be. And that's more of a challenge. When a figure is really wrong, it's easy to take it and say, okay, I'm gonna fix it just by some very obvious simple fixes. But when a figure is pretty good but not quite there, that's a little bit more of a challenge. And that's what I was trying to do for the video that I was doing today. Actually, I had a couple of false starts. I have to admit, I had two different figures where my revised version, I just couldn't get it to work while I was like, I did a version myself. She's not even listening to me. She just rolled her eyes at me. I did a version myself, and then I tried to do it on camera. I couldn't replicate it. All right, you take over, Meredith.
No, I mean, we're all very interested in what you have to say, or somebody is.
Yeah, I feel the love. It's great.
I do love you.
Yeah.
SCS Powerlifting has a super chat for $5. SCS says, "Give him my channel love."
Thank you so much.
I feel like it's a good segue, SCS, to saying, why have you not hit the like button? Why have you not subscribed? Be like Mikey. I can't help it.
Yeah. I actually...
I'm 483. You actually what? I was thinking about SCS powerlifting today. I was at the gym actually a couple of times. So I started going to a gym, and there are guys there that are doing bench press with dumbbells, and they've got like the, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plates on these things. They're massive. I don't even go up to look at what the weight is. It doesn't even matter. And there's me. I started with 25s. He's not allowed to lift heavy weight.
Right. Anyway, I started with 25s, which is not heavy, and I just did 45, and it was fine. And it's true. I can't lift heavy weight. I'm not supposed to. So, but yeah, 45 is not much for dumbbells. And I'm doing deadlifts. And my deadlifts right now, my last time I went in, the first time I went in, I couldn't walk actually for about 4 days. I'm doing 35s on the bar. It's very embarrassing. But,
Nobody cares.
I care. You know what? I care. I don't care.
I care that you live forever. So, you know.
It's embarrassing being the guy that's at the gym.
You're not allowed to lift the heavy weights.
And it is true. No one cares. No one's looking at, like,
Nobody
really, people
cares
do
but
not
you.
care. They're doing their own program. But I'm like, SCS powerlifting would be deeply embarrassed by this.
You would not.
Sure, it would.
You know what? Lifting 35s, you're doing more than people who aren't lifting anything at all.
Yeah, I'm doing more than the me that hasn't been doing it for way too long.
So there you go. You're lifting 35 more weight than you were a month ago.
Yeah.
Rike Ingles, 123 is a super chat for €5. Dave. Heinrich Clay influenced, among others, a guy named Walt Disney.
Really? See, things I don't know. Look at that. And for an artist to be so obscure for most people, like he doesn't have the recognition. And who knows? Maybe he will one day. As tastes change and as far as critics go. But yeah, I did not know that. That was very, very cool. And I can see it with all the. I can imagine before Heinrich Clay, there wouldn't have been a lot of anthropomorphic animal drawings out there. Or maybe I'm wrong, but certainly nothing like that. I'm sure I'm wrong. I mean, there's Peter Rabbit, so sure, but nothing that good.
Pizza Monster Art says, I'm sure SCF would be proud of Dave and his lifts. I know he would be.
Well, like Meredith said, it's better to at least be out there.
And Lance Boyer agrees with me. Dave, you can't be embarrassed if you're getting your butt up and to the gym.
Yep.
Keep it up.
And I'm making sure I'm doing all my lifts. I'm doing that. I'm doing squats. Squats is embarrassing number 2, but I'm doing them. And then I'm doing a lot of cardio after, because that's really more my focus. I'm 50, it's I'm not going in there to get huge.
Going in there to live forever. Like the Queen song, which I won't inflict on you, although it's in my head right now. Grim Cancer has a super chat for $4.99. Hello, Mr. and Mrs. Finch. Yesterday, we know where this is going, was my 20th birthday.
Oh, okay.
And Jay Fabach actually said happy birthday to me. Yay! And we're going to sing to you, Grim Cancer. Also, do you have tips for drawing buildings? So before you give him his building tips, we have to sing happy birthday to Grim Cancer.
Okay.
Because Jay only said happy birthday. Happy birthday, Grim Cancer. Happy birthday, Grim Cancer. I hope your birthday was happier than your name, Grim Cancer. Happy birthday to you.
I've become so desensitized, I'm not even embarrassed anymore. That's the sad part. Okay, buildings.
I have to take it to a whole nother level then.
Yeah. All right. Let me do that here. So to draw buildings, really step 1 is perspective, which I'm unfortunately going to fake here. I have some videos up where you can find perspective more in depth. But I'm going to look up at my building. I'm going to do it in a bit of a 3-point perspective. So basically like this. And this is how I would always lay out a building. I know kind of what I'm looking for. And so I just lay it out. And then I'm going to find this point basically about here. This point's going to be just about here, and I've got a third point up here. And then I use a ruler. And this is a very important step, and it's a hassle, but I use a ruler and I rule lightly across the whole page, all my lines. And all of these actually go to a point. You can get away, and I know a lot of artists do just fake all this, basically how I'm doing this right now, and they make it look amazing. I don't recommend doing that unless you're really comfortable and you really know what you're doing. So I've got my basic, let me go all the way through with this. I've got my basic perspective in. What I'm going to do here is lighten everything down. And now, I'm just going to draw an edge for my building here. I'm going to draw, and I'm going really loose, but I've got a couple of different, and I'm drawing more of an old-fashioned building, so I'm going to give it a sill, whatever. I don't know what these things are called. I just draw the stuff. So here we go. There's kind of the sill along the top. I'm going to give it some detail down the outside here. And here's the side of my building. And so the next thing that I want to do is I want to say, okay, I've got a window here, and I'm just guessing. And I'm doing it more like an assembly line than anything. And it's amazing to me how lucky I generally get putting these things in. You can see that my windows are all pretty well evenly sized. It all worked just fine. And I didn't, even though I drew both sides of my building, it worked. I do that a lot and it seems to work. I mean, not always. And when it doesn't work, if my last window is too small or whatever, I end up having to erase the side of the building and move it out. So, all right. So now that I've got that basic thing, I'm going to do a line for the center of my window. I'm doing it across all the windows. A line up here. A line in here. And I'm just starting to add detail to my windows. If you want to look at a window more up close so you can really get a sense of this detail, that's fine. But the point is that I'm doing all of my windows at once. And like an assembly line. And this is a little loose, and so I'm going to give it one of these dealies here for the floor. And then I'm just going to extend this down, do the same thing again. And it's actually a very cathartic kind of nice, quiet process. And I'm looser than I could get away with, obviously, but this is really how I go about it. We're going to do the same thing again. All these windows in quick succession, they're all drawn together. So I don't end up with a lot of detail in one window and then I start to, really lose steam. Now for the side of the building, I'm going to draw some bricks, but the last thing I want to do is draw a million bricks. So I'm going to draw, here's paint that's kind of, worn off the building, just like this. I didn't do the best job. I try and keep it a little bit more, the shape a little more interesting than that. But anyway, and now I'm going to just draw some lines, make them a little bumpy, break them up just a little bit. Then I can draw some lines this way and it's bricks. There you go. Just like that. At a small size like that, that's all you need to do. Chimney. I've got all my perspective in, so it's really easy for me to just get this in here. And yeah, if I want another building behind it, I'm going to draw it. It's all in the same perspective, so it's easy to get in there. There it is. I'm going to make this one more modern because these are the easiest to draw in the world. Modern buildings may be soulless, but they're easy to draw. So there you go. That's how I do buildings. That's really all there is to it. The rest is just detail. If I want to put a sign here, look at this. Oh, here's a sign. And I've got my perspective all worked in. So I'm just using the same perspective that I had. So there you go. All right.
Beautiful. Thank you. Roberto Valen says, hi, Dave. Hi, Meredith. A few months ago, I sent Dave a message through his Instagram showing the replicas I made of his drawings, but he never answered me. Roberto, don't feel badly. He doesn't answer anybody on Instagram.
I do apologize, Roberto. I actually don't see a lot of messages on my Instagram. The problem is that I get a lot, and it's very difficult. I'm overwhelmed, and I miss things all the time that I really would much rather not miss. But I love doing the channel. I love having this connection with you guys. It can be very difficult for me to go further than that, just because this is part of my job, but I'm also a working artist, and yeah. So anyway, I do apologize, and I really wish I could respond to everything and see everything, but a lot of times things slip through the cracks.
Enrique Ingles 123 says, Meredith Finch, on my birthday in February, I want a happy birthday song by Crickets.
Can we even do that? You know what? We got our work cut out for us, Meredith.
Oh, no, I could do it right now.
Oh, no, you stop.
But I'm going to save it for February. I know exactly how it's going to go.
How many of you guys were aware of Heinrich Clay? Yeah, for sure. Yeah, definitely. Like,
That wasn't. There were a few people that said it was de-influenced Disney.
yeah.
Adam Meyer has a super chat for $10. Meredith, good job on my name. Dave, have you ever heard of a manga called Abara?
Of a what called a bara?
A manga.
Oh, a manga, a bara. No. I'll have to take a look. Yeah, no, I haven't actually.
You've stopped posting on Instagram too? Did you stop posting on Instagram?
Not intentionally. I just.
And Simon Kutcher says you stopped posting on Instagram, and he's crying about it right now.
Oh, he's crying. Yeah, I'm sure he's crying.
Made the crying face.
Oh, yeah.
It's a crying emoji.
Yeah. Anyway, yeah, okay. The part of the problem is I don't actually use my phone. Like I never have it with me ever. I hate having it with me. So if I go somewhere, like, yeah, trying to get a hold of me is not the easiest, I have to admit. But that's part of the problem, and that I keep forgetting to post. And then like Monday Night Draw, I've got all this stuff that we've done just lately, and I've got a bunch of stuff from the summer. I've got so much stuff that I want to post. But I hate using Instagram because if I scan it, it's not on my phone. I have to email to myself. Anyway, so I end up taking picture. I'm like, I have no excuse. None of these are an excuse.
Really,
It's like the lamest excuses.
Baby, just making excuses right now.
I need to get first of all, I need to find it. I can't even remember where I put it. I'll find my phone.
And sit on the counter.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll find it on the counter then. That should be easy to find. And I'll post something.
Listen to these excuses. I don't even know where my phone is sitting on the counter.
You know what? I didn't actually know where it was. So, you call it an excuse. Maybe it's a lame one, but
deliberate avoidance.
Okay. I'm not going to argue with that.
All right. Ross May has a super chat for £5. What do you consider when wanting to add variety to background characters?
Yeah, that is actually a very, very good question. And, there are some artists that do it really, really well. And I've certainly looked at that. Also, if you type in something just like people walking in New York, you can find all kinds of very different, and New York is great too, because you get people of really all types. It's very diverse ethnically and racially, and just types of people. They're, what do they call them? Hipsters. All the way to everything, and
old ladies like me.
Yeah, there you go. Sure. So it's a great thing to look at for something that isn't going to give you a bunch of guys in suits, basically, which
That's a great idea, Dave.
Yeah, well, I've done it. It totally works. And then you kind of cartoon, like, you don't want to just copy the people, but yeah, you can really use it to give yourself some great ideas for different types of characters to draw. And it keeps you very contemporary because you're looking at something that's current.
All right. Oh, I missed apparently Matt Thomas's super chat for $5. Thank you, Eric. What's an older comic of yours that you still enjoy? And what's an older cover of yours that you wish you had a second shot at?
Oh man, what a good question. An older comic of mine that I still enjoy. Hard for me to say enjoy. I would say, because I put so much into them. It's not like I look at them afterwards to appreciate them from like a, any perspective other than I think, wow, that was a lot of work, or I'm proud of that. So I would say I, to this day, am proud of Wonder Woman that I did with Meredith.
Stop it. You are such a little suck up.
Moon Knight, and I got my huge Moon Knight book, like a big, thick one. I saw him at some convention, so I knew I would be getting one pretty soon. Marvel's so good about that. So is DC. They're great that way. So I got my book, and I'm pretty proud of that one. All in all, as far as covers that I really wish I could take back, the number one that springs to mind is Ultimate X-Men. There's a cover with Jean Grey, and it was actually colored by Aaron Sode, who is really, really good. He did a great job, but the actual picture itself was just very, very bad. It was the only time, the whole time I was at Marvel, and really since ever, they actually have cover paper. So they have interior paper and then cover paper, and so does DC Comics. I never have used it since, like that was the first and last time. I've never used cover paper. I was afraid to use it because it's different paper than what I was used to. And that can, you know, from a superstition standpoint, that can be a problem. And then I finally used it, and that cover was such a stinker. I will never do it again. There you go.
Now you know.
So I would draw that cover again.
Story.
I would draw that cover again, and I would do it on proper paper.
Remember that TV show?
Now I know the what?
The rest of the story.
No.
You never watched that TV show?
No, I guess not.
Maybe that was another Canadian thing. Alan DeLeon has a super chat for $5. Hey Dave, it's me again. I'm making a sketch of draw that I'm making. Would like to show you, but I don't know how because I want to know what you think.
You know, Facebook is a really good way.
On the Vince Flock page.
Yes. And Meredith shows me stuff from that all the time. That is the best way. I really do wish, like every once in a while, I'll get an email and somebody's looking for, you know, more one-on-one coaching, and unfortunately, it's just not something that I can do. I wish I could, but
it's not enough hours in a day.
No, I can't do it. So, and it makes me sad, you know, especially when I can see that there's talent there. I know that I can't do the kind of job that it would require. And I do think that the information is out there. I think coaching can be helpful, but I don't think it's necessary.
All right. Bread Pirate has a super chat for $5. Hey Dave, thank you so much for these streams. They've really motivated me to learn how to draw, and it's been an incredible experience.
Well, thank you very, very much. I really appreciate it. Having such a good time doing this stuff, and I feel really reinvigorated with it too, which this is the pattern for me. You know, I'm really having a great time, and then, you know, your interest kind of wanes in other things. Like, you know, I love painting, and I haven't painted for a bit, but I'm really into YouTube again, and so I had a great time doing the last video today. I'm going to get it all edited tomorrow, and actually I'm going to do my Walking Dead cover. They need that thing. I really put them in a bad spot with that. So I'm going to do the Walking Dead cover and get that to them, and then get back to the video and get it all edited and put up.
All right. Our dad of the Misfits has a super chat for $10. First of all, my son is super excited about this drawing. He loves Link. And second, Monday Night Draw and Monday Night Football is back. Finally, Mondays are good again.
Yeah, we're kind of right during Monday Night Football, aren't we?
You can watch us, or you can.
My Bills didn't have the best game this week, unfortunately.
Your Bills?
My Bills.
What do you now? You're a Buffalo fan?
Yeah. Okay. Look, you were there. I just want to say, so I can't corroborate this one with anyone, unfortunately, because I was single. But I really got into the St. Louis Rams, and this is right before Kurt Warner got on the field. I'm gonna be fast. She's closing her eyes. Anyway, they won the Super Bowl. Everybody was a Rams fan. I was a Rams fan because I like the outfits. And then whatever. Anyway, so I am a Lions fan, but I gave up. I hate to say it. I gave up. And so I was talking to.
You're admitting, like,
I'm not going to stop.
Stop telling me.
You're just making it last longer.
Just making yourself a fair weather fan.
Yeah, but you were there when I picked, and you know exactly how I picked. No. I didn't know a thing about any of the teams. You know what? You were there. Don't even do this. And yeah, I picked the Bills based on the outfit, and now they're the best team. I've totally done it twice. So you know what? All you handicappers out there, just pick on the outfit. You're fine. That's all you got to do.
There you go. That's what you do.
Yeah.
Samuel Reyes has a super chat for $10. Dave, you can do Instagram posts directly from the website these days on a computer.
Who said this?
Samuel Reyes. He's not wrong.
Really?
You don't have to be on your phone to post to Instagram.
Don't you have to use some kind of a...
No.
See, because I did this
Hope
before.
you're both doing well.
Oh, yeah. Yes, thank you. Eric showed me how to post from my computer ages ago, but you had to do a bit of a workaround. So I didn't know that you... Okay.
I think you could just right-click on it.
Well, there you go. I'll have to get back to posting
Spend
more.
some time.
Yeah. Yeah, I've got lots of stuff to post, to say the least.
Ace760 has a super chat for $4.99. Hey, Dave. I've been practicing on trying to find eye level or horizon line when studying artist work, but it's difficult. Do you have any tips?
Gosh, that's such a tough one to just say verbally and for me to just draw. So, okay. Let me pull it. I still got this book sitting on my desk. So let me pull this one out. This is tough. This is actually a little bit difficult because with the figures, because they're such different heights, it's a little tougher to gauge, but it's pretty easy because you can obviously see all the buildings in the background. Your horizon is going to be just about here. But now for this panel, any panel where you have figures and things crossing through the horizon, it's actually very, very easy to see. Especially you can see where you kind of go level. This is angled downward, that's angled upward. The horizon is about here. And it's going to be about waist height, basically. That's about, looks about like the horizon, just about here. If I'm not 100% perfect, that's kind of all right, but that's just about right, which actually makes her fairly tall. She's at the same level in terms of her waist. Let's find a couple more. This is another very easy example. You can see it's just right about here, where things are angled down and where they angle up, where they converge. That's where your horizon is going to be. That makes it easy for panels like that. Panels like this can be a little bit more difficult. The horizon is going to be just about up here. And to find it, you'd want to draw these lines all the way up this way. And then these lines here all the way up this way, they don't have much of an angle to them. And I don't know that this is done to an actual horizon line. So you'd actually have to kind of fake it a little bit. I'm doing my best here. You know what? You're making this torture. But if you find where these lines go and these lines go, when you can find a line that converges between them, like where these converge and those converge, then you'll find your horizon. To find it for panels like this, it can be a little bit more of a challenge, I estimate. And it's okay to do that, to just go ahead and estimate. This would be an easy one to find too. It's just going to be just about up here. And it's easy to find because you can just follow the lines and it's going to be where they converge. So that's really all you have to do. Anytime you have multiple figures in the panel, you can see that their heads are all fairly well aligned, pretty well. So you know that your horizon is going to be just about through here. So yeah, there you go. All right, I stopped. Jeez, you're the worst. All right, wake up.
Oh, sorry. Sorry, I'll sleep there for a minute. I'm just tired. That's all.
I know.
Just tired. It has nothing to do with your talking to
my droning on. I'm really trying to not drone on, Meredith. I really am.
Dan Genovese has a super chat for $5. Dave, you already do so much for us, and we appreciate everything. Don't stretch yourself thin on our account. By the way, this drawing is looking legendary.
Thank you so much, Dan. Appreciate it.
And Henry Jeremic wants to let you know the Link shield might need a line to finish the border of the shield.
Yeah, right here. Thank you. I had it coming. I knew what I was doing. From here, it actually will be relatively quick. And it needs to be because I don't know if you guys can tell. Those of you that have been watching for a while, Meredith's about to lose her mind pretty soon.
The SC2 said Meredith is starting to crash.
Yeah, see, there you go. See, he knows.
Johnny, I only have so much energy. Expended it all in the first hour. Johnny D has a super chat for $5. I got here Kate to the party. I think he meant late to the party. That's what happens when you're on a game for too long. Link is looking great, Dave. Great to have Meredith back.
It is, it is good to have her back. It's like a good and bad thing, but all in all, it is very good.
It's like riding a roller coaster, Dave. Or eating a box of chocolates. Junebug 17 PF as a super chat for $2. Hi guys, nice to see you guys back. Love you guys. We love you too.
Yeah, thank you very much. Hey, we've been back for a few weeks. This is week 3.
Week 3.
It's happening fast.
It surely did. Supersonico. Oh no, yeah. Eric, I'm sorry, I'm losing my mind right now. I'm reading my computer from the side because I'm lying down trying to sleep. Eric says, Supersonico, pretty much everything Dave has taught me is on his YouTube channel for everyone and anyone to consume.
It is, yes. And there's quite a bit there by now. It's definitely a collection, which is nice. It's I was really looking forward to getting to a point where I basically covered everything, at least, one pass of, it's like a sketched idea of everything. And I've got other things I'd like to say about a lot of things. Like I did arms from a really constructive view. So I have some other ideas for what I'd like to do with that, legs, whatever, but there's a lot there. That's my point.
All right. John Pineapple has a super chat for $13.99. Hey, David. I drew Anthony Starr's Homelander at the end of summer and was waiting for Monday Night Draw to come back so I could suggest him. Much to my surprise, it was your first one back. It was a blast to watch.
Oh, thank you.
5 exclamation points.
Yeah, it was a blast to draw.
That means it was a blast to watch.
Dude, people are...
5 exclamation points.
I know, but you can't yell like that because it really is... some people have headphones on. You can't do that.
You got my volume turned to... I'm half your...
Okay, Meredith, come on. Please don't do that.
Deafening says extreme maybe. And so now there's no more silence.
Yeah, don't do that.
Dave.
Yeah.
You gotta take the good with the bad. Sombernaut has a super chat for $10. Hi, Dave. I've been doubting myself a lot lately. Sometimes I think I will never be good enough. How do you keep motivated? And do you ever feel overwhelmed? I love your art. Thanks for streaming.
Thank you very much. I do quite a bit, actually feel pretty overwhelmed. And I certainly know what it's like to... Well, I feel like I'm not good enough all the time now. And you have to bear in mind, like, the kind of artists that are out there. And I show you some of these, in the book of the week. And I mean, stuff is genius. And I feel like I've gotten pretty good, and I'm very proud of what I've managed to do in my career. But, there are people that are just better, and it can be difficult at times to reconcile with that. And I remember what it was like wondering if I'd be able to make a career of it and if I could ever break in. And that was incredibly difficult. I remember some of the heartbreak and frustration. I remember thinking, if only I could get in, then I know I'm good enough and everything will be easy. And it wasn't. It was actually harder. Once I got in, the self-doubt was so much worse. And it almost broke me. It broke actually a lot of people. I was in a studio where so many people quit, which is such a shame. Really talented artists, but it's pressure, And You look over at somebody else's desk and they're doing something that you feel like you can't compete with. And something in your head says, you know what? It's not worth it. This is too painful. I'm just going to quit. So just don't listen to that voice. I mean, I don't want to, I feel like I almost did. I don't know that I actually would have, but I wanted to. There definitely was a point where I just wanted to say, it's not worth it. It's too much. Like it's too hard. And I just wasn't feeling like I could do it. So yeah, definitely happens, everyone. All these pens are just coming out so blunt right now. Meredith, you can't do this to me. Just wake up.
No. I was just resting my eyes.
If you're just going to go to bed, then just go to bed.
Johnny D has a super chat. Stop. Take like a 10-second. Don't respond 10 seconds after.
I look over and she's late. She's sleeping. Just let you know.
Just resting my eyes.
Next time it happens, I'm pointing the camera at you so everybody can see. I take it back. Don't go upstairs.
Johnny D has a super chat for $5. By the way, guys, I have yet to get my copy of Dave's art book. I donated, but haven't got one. What should I do? Some of them still haven't gone out. It depends on what tier you're on, Johnny. So if you got a tier that like got comics with your book, Dave hasn't got all those comics together yet to send out. So that might be why.
Yes, there were 2 tiers that
have not. One with head sketches has not gone out.
Yeah, which are finished actually.
He has to just send them off.
Yes.
So if you aren't in one of those tiers, then just touch base through the Kickstarter with Jason at Essential Sequential, because I'm sure he has tracking numbers for everything. He can let you know what's going on.
He does. And you know what? This is always an inevitable thing with Kickstarters or anything like this. Some things are going to slip through the cracks. It's easy to say that. It's very different when it happens to you. And so I'm sorry that that's happening. And I'm sure we can get it sorted out.
Oh, everybody's crying. I have headphones on. I can't hear anymore. Oh, God, I just woke up.
See what I'm saying? You can't do that. I'm not trying to, be a jerk to you. Just saying.
Yeah, you are. You are. He's a jerk to me.
Take things so personally.
I do. Every time I take things personally. I'm just reading the chat.
All right.
I'm not closing my eyes.
All right.
Don't freak out.
Yeah. Why would I?
Simon Kucher says, I'm going to the ear doctor tomorrow. John Pineapple says, I still appreciate the excitement conveyed.
But. Yeah, I don't have any sound equalization on at all because it actually, because I tend to mumble and I trail off, it cuts off a lot of what I say. So I had no choice but to take it off. But the downside of that, it means that it doesn't
project.
Yeah, when you start yelling, it's just going to go and blow out, and I can't do anything about it.
Sorry.
It's all right.
You can't help that I'm loud. It gets worse when I'm tired.
Yeah, if it makes you feel better, it was loud for me too.
Well, that was the whole idea.
Everybody suffered there. There was no winners.
Tico says he's sleeping too. I'm sleeping too. There is no Game Master Toolbox says there's no Meredith setting.
Yeah. Yeah, well, and especially there's no Meredith setting that will work with the Dave setting.
Yeah. Because
I'm so much quieter. And I can try and I do actually. This is me trying to project, believe it or not.
Is that really you trying to project?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, you know how I am.
I just know that when I speak, people think I'm yelling.
You are yelling.
I'm not yelling. I'm just speaking.
I know. Yeah, you are yelling though.
Perhaps that's why the manager at Home Depot wouldn't get on the phone with me.
He could hear you yelling even before. Yeah, from
I was speaking firmly
Yeah.
to the store attendant.
Yeah. So Meredith's trying to return something today.
Well,
and she didn't go
to
to
my parents to return.
Yeah, she gave it to her parents to return. No receipt. No
big deal.
No nothing. So anyway, the store couldn't confirm that it was actually bought there, not stolen. And somebody anyway could have been a scam, right? And so they wouldn't return it. Meredith,
4x8 sheets of fiberglass.
whatever, it doesn't matter what it was. Point is, she would not take no for an answer and drove them up the wall. Made a nightmare for, I'm sure, everyone that works there. And then today told me she's never
I told
gonna.
my parents to take them out into the parking lot and leave them there, but to break them first.
Yeah, and
that's what I told my parents.
Yes, and then she said she's never going there again. And I'm like, come on.
But I'm like, don't leave them in the store. I don't want them to put them back on the shelf and make the money for them. I want you to take it out.
Yeah. You want them to suffer for,
to suffer. I did want them to suffer. Like they were making me suffer.
Yeah. Just a little unreasonable, you still think that they were wrong?
Not unreasonable at all.
And then I'm in this awkward position of like, she's clearly wrong, right? And I don't want to
wrong.
Yeah. And I don't want to just say she's clearly wrong because she's out of her mind. And then I become the target. But I'm like, you know what? If I just let her go, she just gets worse. So then I say something and it's problems, let me tell you.
Dennis Kelly says, Meredith, go to Lowe's. They'll take anything back. Or the problem is, and I normally shop at Lowe's and Rona or Home Hardware. I do not like Home Depot. But this is a very specific panel that I needed for the barn, for the wash stall. And Home Depot was the only people that carried it. So it's like, it's not even like I could have bought it from somewhere else and returned it to Home Depot. They're literally the only people in town that carry this panel. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, kind of ridiculous.
So yeah, for any of you that work in retail, I apologize. People like Meredith are out there.
Allison says Meredith is more vindictive than I am, and that's saying something. Only on a bad day. Only a bad day, Allison. Sometimes I'm very nice. I'm like, oh, well, no big deal. Not today. It's not how I was feeling. Henry Jeremick says Meredith is like Austin Powers out of cryogenic freezing. She has a hard time controlling the volume of her voice.
Yeah. Yeah, if this was a podcast, I could just edit and post, put it up later. It is not, so.
It's not. And Johnny D just said I was having a Karen moment.
You were. There you go.
Yeah. Watch me. I can have more than one.
This is the definition.
I'm proud of my Karen moments.
Yes. Now, I'm very reluctant to bring up the Karen name just because Meredith's a very good friend who I really like too. Is named Karen. So yeah.
My sister's first name is Karen. She doesn't go by Karen. She goes by her middle name. But I know a lot of Karens who I love and who are awesome.
So I'm like, I should probably not, push that one too far.
I had a Meredith moment is what I did. I had a Meredith moment. Full on Meredith. Zachary Zinski says, I work at Lowe's. I've encountered a few Merediths in the wild.
See?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. It's easy to forget, I think, when you're annoyed or whatever, what it must be like to be
on the receiving end.
On the receiving end of, completely. Like, there's nothing you can do. It's not a reasonable request. And then
what do you mean it wasn't a reasonable request? Just give me store credit for it.
You had no receipt.
Yeah, and literally in their policy online says that if I don't have my receipt, they'll take it back with store credit.
It says that you need to be in their policy online. I can't believe I'm arguing this. In their policy online, it says that they need to be able to verify through a process. It doesn't.
No, they said you need to have government ID. But my parents had government ID. Their system just rejected their government ID. They had their driver's license. And they said, oh, you must have had too many returns. Do you know how many times my dad shops at Home Depot, let alone return something? Like it was a total bogus. They didn't even honor what their own website says.
See, I didn't hear that.
Yeah, so this is why I have the problem.
Okay. But that's after they already had to deal with you though, right?
This was like I was stepping into this after they'd already rejected my dad's ID and my mom's ID,
Okay.
and then said they wouldn't take it back.
You win. You were right.
I was
Let's
right.
stop.
Don't even start me down that road.
Too
Fire
late.
me up before bedtime. I just
I
want to
know.
sleep. What are you thinking? Anyway, my sister also said she's been returning stuff
All right.
all the time without a receipt.
I'm going to start talking about Formula One.
It's fine. Also, Allison says quite literally they can look it up in the data from the SKU, except that neither sheet had a SKU on it. But one of the other things did have a SKU, so they could have done that. Sheldon Martin says maybe your parents have a secret life of constantly bringing back their Home Depot goods.
There you go. You know,
That's what it is.
it's like the hoarder friend. You don't know they're a hoarder because they answer the door with like just that. You never really
Just freaking it open.
Yep. Could be.
How's your link going, Dave?
It's going pretty well. I'm putting in the last of my this pen detail, and then I need to switch to the small pen, but that'll be fairly fast. So it's going pretty fast. I'm finding this pen, you know what? When I'm on the couch, I get so much more detail out of these pens because I think I'm leaning back, and so they drain a little bit. When I'm sitting like this, the gravity gives it more ink, and I have trouble getting the kind of detail that I would get otherwise. I think that's what's happening.
I don't want to rush you because then I'll make Dan angry.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm not rushing.
I know you're not. Dan says, take your time, and Meredith, just relax.
And Dan also, if I run out of time, I'm not just gonna.
No, he's not gonna.
Yeah, I'm not just gonna stop there.
Rush it, yeah.
So don't you worry.
Ross Klein says, my wife's in retail, and she says an outside company usually does returns, and if they have a dollar amount that cuts you off regardless of the number of returns per month. It was like $150. Each panel was $76.
Who knows?
I don't know what I'm going to do now. I'm going to break them into a million little pieces and leave them in the Home Depot parking lot.
Perfect. Totally the reasonable
I'm not going to
solution.
do that now, of course.
You ever watch TV shows like this where you see somebody, everything's relatively fine, and they get annoyed by something?
I'm a Dateline episode waiting to happen.
Yeah, that's what I mean. And then next thing you know, you're in too deep. It's too late. You can't pull back now. You've ruined your life. And then you see the video or the interview with the person afterwards, and you can see all they wish they could do was just turn back time and not, break up their Home Depot purchase into a million pieces and whatever.
Problem is they have cameras.
Yeah, you can't get away with much now.
Can't get away with anything.
All right. I'm going to switch to my small pen here.
Well, on the positive side of things, Puppy is much happier tonight. He came back down and flaked out. So we won't go upstairs to find him hidden under the bed.
Oh, is he still down here?
Yeah, he's right there.
Oh, good. Once he realized he could go upstairs, he was all right. Well, that's good.
Yeah, once he figured out he could go upstairs, he
Yep.
came back down.
It means next week should go a lot smoother.
Yeah. Ouch. Ouch. So, how's your weekend, Dave?
Uneventful. How about you?
Busy?
You know what? So I'm outside doing a lot of yard work on the weekends. I did not do that this weekend. I was a little behind with work, so I worked. And we had Isaac's birthday.
Yeah, had the big party.
That's our youngest.
But we're not going to say what day was his birthday so that somebody can't identity theft him.
Right.
Because I know all you guys on the stream
Yeah, that's
are just waiting to identity theft.
That's why everyone's here.
That's right.
Monday Night Draw, where you can come enjoy a nice drawing and be accused of a crime. Pre-accused.
Pre-accused. We're all terrible people. Oh, wait, that's just me.
Yeah.
Sheldon wants to know if we rode horses for the party. No, we didn't ride horses.
The weather has been a little bit.
It's cold here right now.
And we've gotten a lot of rain.
Yeah, it was raining.
Which we needed. Can't complain. But
yeah, we needed it to test out our new drainage system.
Yeah, it's working.
Yep. We got about an inch of rain and everything looks pretty good right now.
Yep.
So.
Yeah, versus last year, an inch of rain, we would be underwater for weeks.
Be soggy.
Yeah, so it's all right. So this is more how I was working for a while. I would draw in and then I would do my final detail with this pen. And I kind of stopped doing that because I was finding I could get this level of detail with my other pen, but I can't sitting here. It definitely works differently. So it's good to know that and stop trying to get so little detail with that pen when it's just not coming out. I actually threw out a few of those pens thinking it was the pen. It really wasn't. It's just the angle.
It's not me. It's you.
Yeah, that's right.
Kenny Wang is here. Kenny Wang says, LOL, I'm super duper late. Thought I would drop in for a quick hello before going to bed. Click like for Lockaroo. Kenny Wang just thinks he can come in here and like ask people to hit the like button.
Kenny can do what he wants around here.
He can actually. He's like one of our own.
Yeah. Well, thank you for coming by, Kenny. It's good to have you here.
And asking for the likes. It's not the same without Kenny flocking for the likes.
It's really not.
Now go to bed, Kenny. You have school in the morning. That's what I tell Isaac. He has to get up at 5:30. Our dad and the Misfits has a super chat for $5. Thanks to Dave. Now the Misfit has commissioned me to draw him Link in your style.
That's awesome.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Well, good luck. I hope it turns out well. I'm sure it will.
Well, Dave, that Link looks great.
Well, thank you, Meredith. I mean, I'm still working on it, but this part really is so much. Like everything is, the whole framework's there. All my basic shadows are there.
It looks done.
Yeah, it is done. And that's the thing. Like I could stop now, but at that point, it'd just be loose and a little uncontrolled, which is fine, but it's not what I'm looking for. And I got a big smudge. Hold on. Wrong pen. I need to throw away my old pens when they stop working because I keep picking them back up. But yeah, going through this stage here, this is where I can over detail something and kill it, or I can really, bring it together and make it really work. And I'm going to say, I think I've gotten better at not killing a picture with inking.
It's 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, right?
Meredith, I'm doing my best. I'm almost done. I know.
When you start saying I'm over detailing it,
oh no,
I start to get worried.
Oh no, I'm not over detailing.
That's true. Like this at this stage, I can over detail something and kill it. I'm like, I've seen that happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, we both have. Heartbreaking when it's a nice picture.
Yeah. I'm like, that painting looked.
Oh, that's so. Oh well, forget it.
That's too bad.
Yep. You know what though?
Good. When if you had stopped, 5 hours ago.
But it's a process. I'm learning. So if it doesn't really work, I care, but at the same time, I learned something for the next one.
Yeah, fair enough. Johnny D is a super chat for $2. Currently drawing Shakti the Jedi. Hope I said that right.
Shakti, is that like Shaq, like Shaquille O'Neal?
No, SHAAK. I don't know.
SHAAK. Okay,
you're up with a lot of the new Star Wars stuff.
Yeah, clearly, unfortunately. Give him a little bit of, this is like a bit of a, engraved kind of metal detail, very small. So it's just kind of bouncing around.
Samuel Ray says it's pronounced more like Shakti.
Oh, there you go. Okay. Yeah, otherwise it sounds like, I'm thinking Space Jam. That's obviously Michael Jordan.
Turtle Tipper says Shakti would be hilarious. I'm imagining it now.
See? Could have been something.
Rike Inglaze 123. Clearly, you are not the only one to think of Shaq using a lightsaber, because that's where Dave went too. Chris Burks has a super chat for 49. Think he'd be up for drawing the Guyver sometime? That would be sick.
Yes, that is a great choice too. Yeah, absolutely. Now, that would be a 2-nighter, because otherwise there's just no way I could get it finished in a night. And I am finding, like, we used to take a little bit of extra time if I needed it, and we kind of stopped doing that. And so it's resulted in a few pictures that have been a little underfinished. And I hate to do that at the end of a stream, but I'm going to tell you right now, the rocks here are going to get finished later tonight after Meredith is in bed. It's the only way. And I don't want to just cheap them out. So I'm going to finish the shield, and then we're going to call it finished, and I'll have a little more detail to do. Unfortunately, I hate to do that, but I really wanted to do this one right.
Adam Meyer has a super chat for $2 that says, looks great. And then he had another super chat that said, you missed my super chat.
Oh, no.
Just wanted to say great job. Sorry, Adam.
Thank you, Adam.
Super chat for $5.
Thank you twice. Very much appreciated.
Sheldon Martin has a super chat for $4.99. Another amazing stream. What are your guys' plans for Halloween costumes? I'm going as someone who works on a farm and owns horses. I'm going as Meredith Finch. She's my idol.
Oh my gosh.
I really want to be her when I grow up one day.
Yes, doesn't everyone?
Yeah, actually, they do.
Right.
They do want to be me.
I have to admit, I haven't worn a Halloween costume since I was a kid. And Isaac, our youngest, he's, some people never want to stop that. That's Isaac. He's going to be wearing Halloween costumes forever. Last year, so he was 13, newly 13. He has and one of those, you guys have seen them, right? The big, huge dinosaur that is inflatable, and it's got the little, motor in there. So it keeps it blown up. Anyway, he wanted to go out in that for Halloween. What a disaster. So,
ended up having an asthma attack.
Yeah, it's like a total mess.
The whole thing collapsed on him because it had a leak.
Oh, I feel like I shouldn't laugh.
It was a hot mess.
Yeah, it really was. He was not happy. I think that might have ended.
This year, I'm just buying him candy.
Yeah, that's really you have to do it. And also, we're in the county. It's very, very difficult we'd have to bring him to somebody else's house. And
Kaimani Jacobs has a super chat for $4.99. Hey, Dave and Meredith. Dave, do you have any advice for someone trying to learn shading for the first time? And thank you both for this community.
If by shading you mean shadow, my advice would be to first really understand the fundamentals of how it works, and that is light source, cast shadow, and form shadow. So form shadow, I'm going to draw a shadow here, and then it softens out toward the light. So there you go. That would be a form shadow, really poorly drawn, but you get the point. It softens out as you go up. A cast shadow would be, I've got a floor right here, and that's casting a shadow on the floor. That's going to be a hard shadow. I can't really draw that very well with this pen, but there's going to be no rendering out of that. It's going to be a hard shape. That's a cast shadow, and it follows the direction of your light. So I would have to angle my light properly to match my shadow that I just drew, but there you go. And so if I'm drawing a shadow on a body, it's going to soften toward the light up here and stay hard down here. I would never have anything coming out of the bottom. And I'm just going to connect a bunch of shapes all the way through. This is all going to be dark down here. And a few simple rules like that really make a big difference. I'm going to draw my lower leg here. I'm actually going to cast a shadow from the upper leg down across the calf there. So that's a cast shadow similar to what I did there. And there you go. I really wish I could do more. And I have a video planned that I've got a lot of shapes and design patterns that I use in my anatomy and in a lot of my things. And I have been finding it so difficult to get that across in videos in a way that's useful, or really in any information, like just that right there. Because it's not something that follows strict rules. It's an interpretive thing, and every artist has their own interpretations for those kinds of things. Alan Davis has these beautiful shapes that he uses. I love the way he describes his anatomy. And so what I want to do is show you in a video, like my top 5 kind of tricks for how to get an interesting, cool looking form. And I don't know how it'll do, but I think it's going to be a really satisfying video for me to do. So there you go. All right, I'm going to stop here. Meredith's going to lose her mind. Unfortunately, this is going to get finished. I've got probably about a half an hour more to really do this properly. Maybe do a little sky in the background and make it nice. But Meredith's fallen asleep. So, and it is already 10:06. So
we're going to sleep.
Yeah. She's awake. You know what? All right, let's keep going then.
No, stop now.
But that's pretty well close enough.
Put the pen down.
I think that covers the figure pretty well. I'm actually pretty happy with it in the end.
It looks great.
Thank you. That was so much fun to do. It was a blast. All right. Thank you, everyone, for spending another Monday night with us. We had a great time. You had a good time?
Thanks for putting up with us.
Yeah,
or
thanks for
with me, I guess.
Thanks for putting up with the yell. Hopefully that won't happen next week, but no guarantees.
You just never know when Mare's going to pull out.
That's right. So yeah, a new video will be up later this week. I don't want to say which day because I'm guaranteed to miss, but it will be up later this week. And after
he gets his cover done.
After I get my cover done, and we will see you next Monday night. All right. Have a good week, everyone.
Night, everybody.